Hey guys, it's your boy Jayboymodz here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install the JellyBelly Customs brightness control module into your backlit Gameboy Advance. This mod is great because it allows for 5 different brightness control settings that you can toggle through by holding select and using L and R, and it also increases the overall brightness. The only other way to do this beforehand was to install one of Ben-Ben's voltage regulator and his digital brightness control chip, which are great, but it's nice to only have to install one thing. First thing I like to do is solder all the wires into the board and then go ahead and solder the board into the Game Boy board. Now here I have all the wires cut to size because I like to go ahead and just have them ready to go instead of doing it as I go. And I'll have all the links for those in the description below. So I'm gonna start with the V in, which is this small one here. So that goes right. The next one I like to do is the one that's marked EN, and I do it like this, and I'll show you why when we get to the GBA board. So that one's up like that. Next one is the down. Down's gonna go right here. Next one is up. That's this long one. That one has to go all the way to the other side of the GBA board. Next is select, which goes right here. I like to do this one sideways right here instead of from the top because of where it's going. There you go. And then ground, which is this little one. And then these other two are the wires that get soldered to the screen. So I have the red I'm doing to the positive. And then the black's gonna go to negative. There we go. Okay, now that we have all of our wires soldered into the JellyBelly Customs board, we're gonna go ahead and get our Game Boy Advance board, which I can assume that you know how to take apart if you did the backlight mod yourself already. And the first wire we're going to be soldering in is the V in, which is this little yellow wire right here. And it's going to go on the left side of C44 right here. There we go. So the next part I'm going to be soldering in is the enable, or the EN, and that's going to go on the left of this little part right here. And I'll have all the instructions in the description below. Okay. So now that that's on their website, it shows that they have it hot glued to this capacitor right here. So I'm gonna do that too. That's how I've been kind of doing it. So definitely don't need a lot. I just put a very small dot on the top and then kind of stick it. All right, so these two wires on the bottom left, we don't need those right now because those are going to the screen. So I just tuck those behind. Next wire we'll do is this one right here, which is down. So this is for the down function, which is L. So it's gonna go right here on the top left of this trigger solder point right here. All right. That one's in. Next one we'll do is select. So select is this top one right here. And that one has to wrap around and solder into the other side of the board where it says TP2. TP2, TP2. Let's get a little bit of solder on there. Yep, that's it. And then I'll fold this over to right where it's touching and just kind of spank it a little. There you go, that's in. And since we're over here, we can do the ground point too. So I like to do the ground point here and fold it over rather than doing it on this side, just because it's kind of hard to solder to this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this around here. And it should be long enough to reach. But you can do it on the other side too if you want. Doesn't matter. So there we go. So now all we have to do is up. So that's this long wire here. And this one has to go under here and go all the way up here to this left point. Same spot that was on the other trigger. So that goes right there. And it fits pretty perfectly, that length. All right, so now we have the module soldered into our board, and now the next thing we have to do is prepare the LCD screen. So here's a 101 screen I took out of a Gameboy Advance SP. You flip it over, you can see on the back that there are 2 contact points right here. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take this pad and we're gonna peel it up, and these are 2 contact points are soldered in, so there's 2 parts. And I'm gonna show you how you can take them, we have to lift them up. So first thing you wanna do, your soldering iron, get a little bit of solder on the end of it, and so be careful not to burn yourself, because I always do. Just kind of solder it a little bit while you're pulling up on it. Get both points, just kind of tap them and pull on them, and then there they go. And there's 2 pieces, how it comes up like that. And I kind of just smooth them out a little bit afterwards. Okay, the next thing we have to do is we're going to cover these 2 contacts with a little bit of Kapton tape. There we go. So they're not making connection. Then this one's going to fold over. But we have to make sure those connections are still exposed, because that's what we're going to be soldering these wires to. So I just put a little on both sides to kind of hold it in place. Now remember, left is positive, right is negative. The black negative one goes on the right. Just like that. And then the red positive one goes on the left. There you go, we did it. And then you go ahead and install this, just like that, right into your Game Boy like you normally would. All right, here we have our completed builds. This one on the left here is just stock, the backlight mod with the ribbon cable, there's nothing extra inside of it. This one on the top here has the Ben voltage regulator and his brightness control mod installed. And then this one is the one that we just finished, which has the JellyBelly Customs brightness control module in it. Now, as you can see, they all look pretty close. The regular one with nothing extra in it definitely is dimmer than the other 2. Now, looking at them where I am, the JellyBelly Customs one does look a little bit brighter. And it could be that because this is 2 chips, it could be drawing more voltage from the Game Boy itself, and the JellyBelly one, being that it is only 1 chip, it might be more energy efficient. Now let me show you how the Ben one works. It's the same type of thing. You hold down select, but you don't have to keep holding it. You hold it down and then it lets you scroll up and down, toggle up and down, however you want to say it, dial up and down. And this one you can actually turn all the way off. I don't know why you would ever do that, but hey, there you can do it. This is as bright as it goes. So then you press select to save it. Now, the JellyBelly one's nice because you just hold it and click it. It's pretty neat. And it's only, but there's only 5 settings, so. Now you saw how bright they both go. Let's see how dim. So that's the dimmest the JellyBelly one goes. So let's see how dim, then you know how dim this one goes. All the way off, but then 1 above. So that one definitely goes dimmer. So 1 up from the bottom setting on the JellyBelly looks about the same as a normal backlit GBA. And then there's 3 more settings above that. So there you go, there's your comparison. There's not a huge difference between these two. The only reason that I would go with this one is because it is easier to install. And when you're installing multiple mods into a Game Boy, which I do a lot, I'll do the accelerator, and then there's the amp mod, so to make the sound louder, it's nice to only have to install one thing because it frees up more real estate inside these things. There's not a lot of room in here, so that's good. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, be sure to leave it in the comments section below, and I'll have all the links in the description if you want to get yourself your very own JellyBelly Customs brightness control module so you can do the mod yourself. So, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.